Hey guys, welcome to the course Learn to Hear Every Single Word in the English Language. I'm Natalia, I'm the person who put this course together, so let me welcome you and let me walk you through everything you're going to find in the course. So now when you have an account, when you log in, you will see two courses on your dashboard actually. You will see the actual course, Learn to Hear Every Single Word in English, and you will see the resource library, which is big. It is growing every month and you will be using it a bit later in the course. You will also see, if you scroll down to your communities, you will also see an advanced listening community. This is also a part of the course and I'll be talking about these three different parts in this video. The actual course is there to help you understand what people say, what native speakers of English say. And it doesn't really matter if they're American, if they're British, if they're Australian. We will work and we will learn to work with all types of accents so that you can hear and understand every single word of what native speakers are saying. And it's important at this point for me to tell you that hearing and understanding are two different processes. Do not hope to jump into the first exercise and to immediately understand everything that you hear. First, our job is to learn to identify what it is that people say, which means to hear what people say. A lot of the times, people's own pronunciation is not that good, and that is the reason why they can't hear the sounds that native speakers are making. If you can't repeat certain sounds, it means you can't hear them. And if you can't hear certain sounds, there is no way you can repeat them.
Squirrel, 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 squirrel,
squirrel.
So if you have never paid attention to the difference between E and E, or the schwa, or if you can't really hear the difference between slip and sleep, then you will also not hear the difference between these words, and it will not make a lot of sense to you why people use these vowels and these sounds and what they actually mean, or why people cannot understand you when you talk.
9.
Receipt.
Receipt. Recipe.
8.
Answer.
Answer.
7.
Chaos. Chaos. Like chaos and control.
Chaos. Chaos.
Depth.
This one?
Depth.
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 The first step towards improving our listening skills is improving our pronunciation. This is why please be patient and follow all the tasks in the course that require a lot of attention to your pronunciation skills. As soon as you start pronouncing things clearer, as soon as you start paying more attention to the way you speak, you will miraculously start hearing people better and you will start hearing what people actually mean to say. These are two different processes. Hearing what people say and understanding what people say. Sometimes we hear what people say, but we can't understand what it means, right? We've heard it a million times, but it doesn't make sense to us. Very often it doesn't make sense to people what it is they heard until they write it down. So once they've written it down, they go like, ah, now I see what it is. Now I see what it means.
Recipe.
Recipe.
Answer.
Answer.
Chaos.
Chaos.
Depth.
That.
And the reason is very simple. The reason is that they heard it, but they don't know this word in this version of pronunciation. They are used to pronouncing this word differently, and they know this word when it's pronounced differently, even if it's pronounced incorrectly.
Yeah, so they said that you have salmon on the menu. Okay, I'm gonna have the grilled salmon. So yes, I'll have the salmon and shrimp. You want that grilled or barbecue? Grilled or fried shrimp? Yes. Now, specifically, what sauces do you have to go with that shrimp?
But as soon as you give it to them in its correct and full form, they immediately do not recognize the word, right? So we want to learn to hear what native speakers say without even analyzing it. Hear it and ask yourself, can I hear it? And then, does it make sense to me?
Pecan.
Pecan. Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
Tomato.
That's a tomato.
It's a tomato.
Well, then how do you say potato?
Potato.
Well, if you say potato, then you should say tomato.
Potato. Tomato.
And only then we move on to the next step, which is understanding. Sometimes both processes will happen simultaneously and you will hear and understand what people mean in an instant. And sometimes you need to work hard in both of these processes. First, learning to hear what people say, because it often sounds like it's just one long sound, not even one long word. So our job will be to learn to hear every single word that's inside this long sound you're hearing. And then we'll move on to learning to understand what people say and what people mean when they say this.
He threw 3 free throws.
He threw 3 free throws. He threw 3 free throws.
Be ready for all the exercises. When you go to the actual course, you will see a set of exercises. In every chapter, there will be different exercises that will help you master a certain skill. Chunking, diction, pronunciation, vocabulary, accents, movies, podcasts. You will learn how to work with different types of content because they're all different, right? And they require a different approach. You will learn to work with prepared speech, with spontaneous speech, with live interviews, with songs, with all kinds of content, and you will learn to do a very certain set of exercises to help you develop all those skills. The course is designed for a year of work, and here is what it means. It means that inside the actual course, you will learn what this set of exercises looks like. But then you'll actually have to go and do these exercises, right?
It's time to do it right now.
So that you can change the quality of your speech and the quality of your understanding the English language and the English speech. And that is what requires time. So when you're ready to go ahead and do those exercises, you will need the resource library. Inside the resource library, you will find tons of materials that are readily available and they're waiting for you to just open the library and start working. They are also broken down into chapters. You will find a reading section, you will find a section with audiobooks, with movies, with songs, with poems, with live interviews, with true stories, with podcasts. And again, there is a very clear algorithm of how to work with each type of content. So you go to the resource library when you already know how to work with a certain type of content, something you've learned in the course. And when you need more materials to practice, and of course more feedback, you go to the corresponding section in the library. You choose a text that you like more and you just do the exercise. It doesn't mean that you have to do every lesson inside the library. You can choose, and I put so many lessons in there so that you guys have choice, not because you're supposed to accomplish every single lesson in the library, but so that you can choose what you feel like doing today. And it doesn't really matter what you choose. The content is secondary. The skill of working with content is primary. Now, there is also the community. The community is where we talk and where I publish new tasks weekly. These are the tasks that I enjoy the most during the week, so these are my personal picks. I post the tasks or the videos or the resources that I liked myself, that I did myself, and I'm inviting you to join. Usually I post a new task every Friday, and we can do it all together and talk about the task in the comments. Again, there is always very clear instruction on how to do a certain task. Sometimes the tasks from the course will repeat, sometimes the tasks from the library will repeat. Sometimes I'll do a video for you where I explain how I do the exercise, or I explain an insight I got into something. Plenty of interesting stuff. Check it out in the community. And I forgot to tell you that once a month we also meet live for a Zoom call. and I answer the questions that the participants in the course have, and we always do one exercise together. So every month we do an exercise. If you are new in the course, you can go to the last chapter of the course where you will find the replay of all the live calls we've had with people. And even if you missed that call, what you can do is you can use the replay of the call as an exercise that you can do in real time with us. Simply press play and do it with us, because we do all the exercises in real time. Every video has a topic, so you know what you will be watching. For example, how to learn vocabulary in the movies, or how to learn to understand phrasal verbs, or how to expand your vocabulary, or how to understand the Scottish accent, or any accent really. A very clear set of exercises that we do together, and I always explain the nuances of each exercise. So you see, the listening course is a lot and it takes a lot of time. If you feel for whatever reason uninspired by the materials in the library and you want to work with your own, or you want to come back to the lessons that you have done previously in the course, you're always welcome to do so. The course takes a year because it takes at least a year to practice doing all those exercises so that you feel you can do them no problem.
Gala, sherbet, gyro, GIF.
And so that your work yields results and you can clearly see that. Do not ignore the tables in the course that explain to you how you can measure your results. Do not ignore the instructions that tell you to do another iteration of the same exercise. Do not ignore the real-time video conversations with me. Use them, because a course means a lot of interaction. You will be receiving individual feedback on your work every week, and you have a chance to have a video conversation with your coach anytime you want. You can do the same exercise again and again as many times as you want to. You can choose your own content to work with. You can choose to participate in our calls. You can suggest new posts in the community. Let's say if there is something that you want to learn to understand, or you came across a video that you want to learn to hear better, or something doesn't make sense to you even though you've done the exercise many times, feel free to create a post in the community. You also can do that. And understand that this is a community where we practice together. I do all these exercises with you. There are not many. To be honest, there are not many exercises that we all do here to learn to really understand every single word that people say. The trickiest part of the course is to do these exercises continuously. You do the same exercises with different type of content that inspires you. And this is how you go through the course. You repeat the same exercises with new content, you receive new feedback every week, you talk to other people who did the same task and you learn from them and you learn from your mistakes. And we get to talk. Remember that you are practicing not only your listening skills, but also your speaking skills here in the course. There are a lot of free flow speaking exercises that I encourage you to do, even though you think your speaking skills are not that great. The more you do it, the more often you do it, the better they will become.
Hi, Natalia. To answer a question about what I have learned so far, I think that the most important part was to hear myself on the recording. This turned out to be very helpful because I can hear my mistakes, what I usually don't when I just speak during the conversation.
And if you have any question about any task, you can always ask. Just remember to send your work. Remember to be consistent and follow the instructions very closely so that you can be confident you understand how to do this exercise. And come in for feedback. This is where you learn the most. Individual feedback is the gem of the course and is the most precious in this course.
And everything is pretty good. I just heard dig deep. Both words sound as if the vowel is the same, but the vowel is not the same. It's dig is a short vowel, deep is a long vowel, but when you read it, they sound the same. Dig, dip.
So make sure you use this advantage. And good luck. I hope I will speak to you soon, and I can't wait to receive your work.